Welcome to Rockin, Kentucky Blue.
Yeah, okay. Can't walk, can't stand, can't sit. So it's a great day.
Yeah. Fun. Back spasms are, yeah, I pass on that.
I get them about twice a year, and today's one of them.
Man.
And there's like nothing that seems to set them off. I had a perfectly normal day, and then last night I'm like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
Because I can start feeling it because my lower back will feel like it's a little stiff, and usually I can bend over and stretch it out, and it's okay.
Right.
And I've been over to stretch it out, and then that pain went down my leg, and I was like, oh, shit. Tomorrow's really going to suck.
Right.
And I woke up in 10 minutes to get out of bed to get to the kitchen.
Right.
I was like, I might be 5 minutes late for the podcast, but I have to pick up my phone to text him to tell him that. And I left my phone in the bedroom.
Oh.
Yeah, that's how come I didn't answer immediately. Because I had to go back.
Right. I'm not laughing at you because that's not good. But it's episode 64. Next man up.
Well, I can guarantee who it isn't. How about next podcaster down?
So, yeah, I mean, great weekend. Well, Kentucky Derby and everything going on, you know, the NFL draft, Kentucky Derby, a lot going on. So other than man down, I mean, it's been a good weekend.
See, you know, I didn't hear you play our intro music.
Yeah, I did.
It didn't come through here, so I thought we were still chit-chatting until I looked up and saw we're live. Not that I'm going to sound any different, because
right.
That's how come I didn't welcome us anywhere. I heard there was nothing on my end.
Oh, right. I just thought you were just man down. I was like, oh, this is perfect. Episode 64, next man up. I was like, she played the part.
Well, the sad part is I'm not playing anything, man. This is as real as it gets today.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Derby.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had to get like mouthy on Twitter.
Oh, I mean, when I get called out, then
hey. I didn't call you out on Twitter. I didn't say one word about the Derby.
And basically, I was just picking one horse. I mean, everybody just like pick a horse. I'm like, everybody just picks a horse. I'm gonna pick 3 horses.
Well, I was gonna pick 3, and then I was like, now if he thinks I wouldn't be convicted enough in any of my picks to actually put money on them, and I was like, track conditions are good, and as much as I never bet the favorite, I said this would be the time. I don't bet the favorite, the favorite's going to win, so I bet the favorite across the board, but only $2 each.
Right.
But then I put $4 to place and show on Medina Spirit, because you never vote or you never go against Baffert.
Hard to do.
And I really wish now I bet that one across the board. But anyway, I came out $13.60 to the good.
Well, that makes you the winner, really, because
I had to also include him, because it would have been $18.60, but they had a $5 fee for transferring money and whatever.
Oh yeah. So I couldn't get the app to work, so I actually had to go out to Red Mile and put my bets in. packed. It was packed. So I ran in there, made my little bets, and ran home. And probably 45 minutes, the race came on. And I was real close.
Well, it's not horseshoes and it's not hand grenades.
That's a fact. That's a fact. But yeah, I had 8, 9, 14, and it came in 8, 9, 7, something like that. And the 14 was the favorite. So
yeah.
But that was the closest I got. I made several other picks too, but I had Medina Spirit in all of them. Just that one I had, one. Plus I boxed all my trifectas anyway, so I just didn't. I never play like that key play, and you can have the extra couple horses, and it's a lot easier to hit. No, I didn't do that.
Now, when the times I've been to Keeneland, it's been a long time. I don't think I've been to Keeneland since Emily was born, so that's been over 21 years. But I had a tried and true system, and that was for me not to drive. Because
I remember the story from last Derby. Yeah.
As long as I don't drive, I'm winning. And when I start winning, then I start getting really exact with my bets later, like $5 for this horse to win and $5 for this one to place and this one to show, because the ones I pick into place and show pay more than if I bet the winner across the board.
Right.
And you start hitting them like that.
Yeah.
And everybody in the sports bar at Keeneland's looking at you like, well, how do you do this? And, because they're studying their scratch sheets and their handicap.
Oh, yeah.
And they're put on, and I just walk up and go, let's see this one. So I'm done, a minute after the windows open. They laughed at me for 3 races. After that, they were coming to me to see if I would tell them how to pick their horses. And I'm like, if you bet the same as I do, then I end up with less money.
Right.
Figure it out yourself. You thought it was funny. And in spite of that, because I hit one race so big, I bought the entire sports bar a round.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was like, well, that was kind of stupid. But
it was nice though. It was nice though. Last time I went to Keeneland, I hit a trifecta. I hit a $2 bet for I think it was like $230. And my wife, she hadn't said nothing after that about me betting. Now I've hit a couple grand on the Derby before.
Well, I hit
but that's few. So
Bluegrass Stakes Day, the feature race on that one, I hit an exacta, and I had a couple of side bets beside that, so I would go cash in. And this is how you can afford to buy the bar around is when you cash in your tickets and between your 3 bets, you've got $892.
Yeah.
Now we're talking 21 years ago. $892 is some serious money then.
Right.
That's probably
drinks on me. Woo.
Now I just went up to the bartender. I said, "You can let them know." I said, anybody that orders anything in the next 10 minutes is on me. And he didn't exactly promote, but there was enough. It made a hit, but I won another 400 after that. So what did I care?
And the street cred just keeps going up. Mumble Brown.
That was way back in my younger days when I was. I did have one rule. It's like, I'm going out for the day to have fun. I can afford to spend $50 on having fun.
Right.
So that was my limit out of pocket was $50. And once the $50 was done, I was done betting, but I kept winning. So in spite of, I've had, and you know how expensive food is at Keeneland.
Oh yeah.
I ate. I had a couple of drinks, bought all the other drinks, and still went home with over $1,000 in my pocket.
Hell yeah.
I was like, well, rent's paid.
Right.
Car payment's done.
Yeah. If you walk out there
with the same amount you walked in with,
right, then
that's a winner.
Good. Right. So I spent 50 and lost 50. Like on the all the bets that I made were amounted to $50, and I didn't win anything. So I was the loser. But I had fun. I had fun
there you
doing it.
go. And I wasn't going to bet anything. So thanks to you calling me out, because I didn't call you out.
Right. See, I got you in the spirit. He was like, you know what? I'm going to show his ass.
I wasn't in the spirit of just like, I already know he's wrong. So
Wow.
I'll just make money to rub salt in the wounds.
Right. You were the winner. I mean, no denying that.
You can't. So Derby was back. I think, a little, well, not a little, it was a lot. Subdued.
50%.
But still. But I mean, you get 50,000 people there. That's kind of a big deal from a year ago.
It is.
When we didn't have the Derby until Labor Day. Because they thought that was going to be enough time to get over this, but they underestimated the stupidity of people.
Yeah. It was felt like everything was getting back to normal.
Well, I played piano for my Sunday morning services yesterday, which during the past 6-8 months when we've been having the 3 services, I think I got to play for Sunday maybe twice. But I was always on Saturday night, so I hadn't seen the Sunday morning crowd. And people kind of settled in who was going to come at Sunday night, who was going to come at 9 on Sunday.
Right.
I hadn't seen the 9 and 11 Sunday people in forever. And a few other people that hadn't come at all because they weren't going to come until they got vaccinated. So after the 9 o'clock service yesterday, since they didn't dismiss everybody by rows, they were allowed to stay and talk if they wanted. Now you saw circles of people talking, and bless their heart, they spaced themselves. It wasn't like anybody said, You've got to maintain this distance or you have to put on them. Everybody was very respectful. If you want to wear a mask, I'm not going to give you grief over it. If you don't want to wear a mask, I might not get closer than 6 feet to you, but I'm not going to say anything. But it was.
I mean, you shouldn't worry. You're fully vaccinated now.
No, you should wear a mask.
Well, period. I'm just saying you shouldn't worry because you're fully vaccinated. So you're good.
Well, it's not a worry, but I will continue to wear my mask.
Right.
And for those people that they trust science about herd immunity, they're all going in on the herd immunity. That's what it is. And it'd be just like the flu, the people. They trust science for herd immunity, but they don't trust the science that even if you're vaccinated, it doesn't mean you won't get COVID. It means if you get it, you'll survive it. You could get it and you're more likely now to not have any symptoms, so you wouldn't know you had it. But guess what? If you're not wearing your mask, you could spread it out to people that aren't vaccinated. That's why I'll keep wearing my mask, because I care about other people.
Right.
Call me crazy. And because I was around other people yesterday that didn't have masks on, I will not get around my grandson for a couple of weeks. That's the one thing. We got enough musicians. I won't be playing every single week, which is, I like playing. I'm okay with not playing every week. And I can pick and choose. I know the people that are already vaccinated, and those are the ones I tend to flock to.
Right.
Anyway, so yeah, little bits of normal coming back.
Yeah.
If y'all would keep getting vaccinated and stop ditching your second appointments or they're going to lose some hundreds of doses, if not thousands of doses of vaccine because people did not show up for their appointments.
Right.
You idiots. The other problem is that all those variants of the virus that are coming through. Those will take hold, and look what happened to India. Like we're past it, and then they had a variant, and nobody was taking it serious. Now all of a sudden, you got 1,000 people dying a day. I mean, I can't even watch a story about India. It's just heartbreaking about the hospitals and not having oxygen, and nobody helping them. I mean, that's one thing. You got hospital beds and people in them, and then you can't give them oxygen anymore.
Right.
Oh. So just wear your mask and wash your damn hands. I don't know how many times we got to say this. We've been saying it for a year.
Yeah. I'm one of those people that wash my hands a lot anyway. And I wear my mask. I haven't had a vaccine. I haven't had the first shot or the second shot.
Would you go take somebody's unused appointments?
I don't know if I'm going to get the vaccine or not. I don't know.
Why? Why would you?
I'm just wary. I'm just wary of it. So I'm just holding out for a little bit.
Why?
But I have no problem with wearing a mask and staying away.
Why would you be leery of it?
I don't know. I don't know. I've read a lot about it, and I just
but have you read facts? That's the problem. Oh, really?
Yes, I have.
I'm just scared
of it a little bit. So
okay. Well, here's the thing: you should be more scared of the virus than you are of the vaccine.
True.
There's a higher probability of lifelong complications. And I guess maybe if you knew some of the people that had them and you'd seen what they're going through a year after getting I got one friend, it's a year since she recovered. Her doctors are still trying to find out something to help her lungs. She used to run marathons. She's in her late 30s. Can't walk around the block.
Right.
Get the daggone vaccine. Don't get Johnson. If you're worried about Johnson & Johnson and blood clots, that was 6 blood clots in 7 million doses. You have a greater probability of getting hit crossing the street.
Which I would be the one.
Well, then, you don't live that far from a hospital, okay? So
I just would rather not go to the hospital. But yeah, we'll see. My wife's had both shots, and she's
and she hasn't taken a hammer to your head and told you to get your shots and get them.
No, because
I need to talk to her.
She knows.
I'd knock your butt out and drag you there and shoot him up here.
Right. So that's where we're at. But yeah, great weekend. Felt a little normal to the weekend. Hey, what's up, Jerry?
Yes, it's time for Jerry's weekly appearance on
Cameo.
Rockin' Kentucky Blue. He's thrilled. You can tell. Look at that.
Yeah.
He can't contain his excitement. Okay, move along.
Yeah.
So next man up. I guess that holds true with point guards.
Yeah. Total surprise with Nolan Hickman decommitting. No one saw it coming. Like, what just happened? A week ago, you were talking to Cal about that you liked the 3-guard lineup and you were all in, and nothing was said about Tony Barbie and that. And then you decommit, and people are like, it's because Tony Barbie was the lead recruiter. And no, you do not. I repeat, you do not leave the University of Kentucky basketball for Tony Barbie. Now, I just know. And that's not a slight toward Tony Barbie.
No, but you can say you just know, but nobody saw Johnny Juzang coming.
Right.
Even if he said, homesick, got to bring a relative in to spend time with me. I'm so homesick.
Right.
And nobody saw it coming. So maybe there were signs that people ignored. And if he adds being homesick, because that was the thing that was different. He had been out and playing.
I thought people saw that coming. I thought people saw that coming with Johnny Juzang, though.
Again, that was over a whole season, too. You had a lot more, a bigger body of work.
Yeah.
But nobody wanted to accept homesickness having an effect, and said that this kid's been out on the road playing at different events. He's been away from home for a while. He gets back home, and it's like, man, I miss my family, and it's going to be like that all the time. And that absolutely, and it could be with Tony Barbie that was the one who felt like a family figure. That relationship may have been such that I feel like family with him. Maybe he's not close enough with Cal yet, or the other coaching staff, whoever the rest of you don't know who the rest of the coaching staff is. Right. That's another But if you combine his recruiter leaving with a sudden awareness of what that homesickness is going to feel like, and you've done this on the heels of a pandemic when maybe there's stories with friends or that you've realized that they've lost family members.
Right.
And it's all clicking in like, man, do I want to be that far away from my family?
Right. And I don't want to dismiss that's not some of it. I mean, I think we all kind of think our own things, but I mean, I think he was told some information and then maybe he might not be the guy. I'm not buying just the Tony Barbie or I'm homesick. I mean, you're 1 year out of going to the NBA, supposedly, I mean, by predictions, but so what are you going to do? You're going to request that you're on a team near home? I mean, you don't get to pick and choose that. And you just don't. The University of Kentucky, you don't decommit because of a Tony Barbie. Just
but when you're in the NBA, you got money. You can fly your family into where you are. You can't do that in college.
That's true. But I think it was a little more. I think he had that conversation with Cal about the 3-guard lineup and said, you got
everybody's phones bugged. You know that conversation happened.
No. But just like everyone else saying, oh, well, it's homesick. Oh, it's Tony Barbie.
Because he said, because both of those things were actually, they were spoken. He talked about the homesickness. And they talked about Barbie. So why are people saying that? Because that's why I said
I think that's some of it. I think he had that conversation.
Well, how nice of you to say that the reasons he gave might be some of it. Very big of you.
Right. But he had that conversation with Cal is what I'm telling you.
I'm saying,
that
how
happened.
Do you know?
That happened.
Okay. When?
A week ago. He had the conversation with Cal that he liked the 3-guard lineup. That's why this was a total surprise. He had that conversation with Cal and then just he knew Tony Barbie was gone. There was no homesick talk, but then he has this talk with Cal about, yes, I'm all in. I like the 3. And then a week later, decommit. That's why it was like, oh, what just happened here? Because I was really big on Noah Hickman. That's why people continue to say, well, maybe he found. And that's where the mints comes in, and who's the other guy that we're getting now? Because this kid's probably done heard something, and he was like, you know what, the homesickness thing kicks in. The lead recruiter now is gone too. Those are factors. I mean, I'm not saying that they're not factors, but he did have that conversation with Cal, so that's why I think there's more to it.
Why not be ambivalent right after the conversation? Why get out there and say all the things he said?
Right. Well, I mean, well, your lead recruiter's gone, so now you can get out your national letter of intent. So, that helps.
But why say you're all in about it if you are really unhappy and really dissatisfied with what you just heard? Why would you say I'm all in instead of be interesting to see how this plays out? You can say that if you're feeling ambivalent about it. Then your theory makes sense.
Right.
Then your theory all ties in together. This I'm all in. I'm more convinced now than I was before you gave your arguments that it was more homesickness when that just kicked in, that this is what it's going to be like. And I've got this last year to actually get as much time with my family as possible before life changes for me forever. Maybe I need another year to grow up and be an adult. Maybe.
But I know a week ago he had a conversation.
Okay, he had a conversation, but you don't know what was going on in his head. Period.
I know what was said. Period. He was quoted saying, I like the 3-guard lineup.
What I'm saying, you don't know what was going on in his head.
Right.
Okay, well then quit pretending you do.
So it takes a week for him to come out and say, I'm homesick after he just had a conversation with Cal?
We just covered this. Do you not listen? We're talking in circles.
That's why I'm not buying that. I'm not buying that.
I'm not buying your story. Why?
It's not a story. He had that conversation.
No, your conclusion is your story. Your conclusion is, oh, well, I've said I'm all in. Then, oh, no, now I've got to figure out a way to get out of this. If he was that unsure of his position or his ability to perform, he wouldn't have said, I'm all in. There would have been something else that would have been less committal, period.
Like, this is who's going to be here. Like, this is who's going to be here. That's the whole point. So.
Yeah, you can.
The kid's words. It's his quote.
I know, and I'm giving you other quotes. So, you can tell me the quote all you want. You cannot tell me what was going on in his head.
No,
and that's what
you're right.
Trying to do. You're trying to draw
no
a conclusion.
one can do that.
Okay, well then quit saying like your way is the only thing he could have thought.
Drawing a conclusion is saying he's homesick.
Because he said he was home. He said he was homesick.
No.
Yeah.
I'm not buying it.
He said that. And his father said that. And his father talked about Barbie. Those were facts. So if you're going to go by things he said, you got to go by all the things he said and not just the one thing that fits your narrative.
I said what he quoted.
I know what you said, and I'm telling you the other things he said. I mean, like, how dense are you?
No, I'm not buying it.
Well, no one told you to
buy it. That's the whole title of this episode, Next Man Up.
But anyway, nobody told you to buy it. I'm just saying you can't dismiss one quote and then put your whole argument on another quote. You are.
And I said I'm not going to dismiss. I said I'm not going to dismiss that before I even started what I was saying.
But you're saying it wasn't a reason. So we can talk about Tony Barbie before his last stint at Kentucky. Did he not?
I don't remember that.
He'd been somewhere because I remember them saying coming here as an assistant was that a step down. And everybody said, well, he's coming back to Cal. I have to look that up, but he was somewhere in between Memphis and Kentucky.
Yeah, I don't remember that. And now he's going to what, Central Michigan?
Yes.
Right.
Because Justice.
Arizona State.
There you go.
Right.
Yeah, I know everything was something SU.
Right.
ASU, CS, or CMU. There was all these little. And both, not both. It was either a directional or a state. You knew that based on how many letters are there.
Both promotions. They're both step ups for them, for the individual. So.
Yeah.
So next man up. I guess Nolan Hickman's going to Central Michigan with lead recruiter Tony Barbie.
And we've heard little bits, nothing definite, but I'm starting to hear the rumor mill crank up about Antigua actually going to accept Kentucky's offer, which is really funny when you see all those Illinois fans that said there was no reason for him to come back to Kentucky when he could be the highest paid assistant at Illinois.
Right.
And again, like I said, the Cicada School. Come out every 16 years, make a little noise, disappear. Don't see him again for another 16.
Facts, yeah. And they definitely didn't want to get into a money. No.
Like, okay, well, we're going to up your offer since Kentucky has approached you. We're going to make you the highest paid assistant. Yeah, and I can be the highest paid assistant at Kentucky, a program that will embrace me.
Right.
One that will have chartered flights to all the games and not coach.
Yeah. But I heard rumors that there was a little back and forth there. Offer, counter offer.
Well, like I said, Illinois was delusional if they thought they could ever win a bidding war.
Yeah.
Not going to happen.
Right. Well, in turn, it helps Antigua make more money at Kentucky. if they up the offer, then Kentucky was like, no, we'll up the offer. And so they actually helped him make a little more money.
And did nothing for themselves, really.
Right. So
actually wasted time trying to find him another assistant. You're going to lose. You might as well just start, get on Craigslist.
Get on the hunt right now.
That's the thing. Get on Craigslist, see who's looking.
Right. So, and looks like.
Hey, I've heard Sean Miller's looking for a job. I'm sure he'd love to be in it.
Well, there you go. Might come with a little scandal, but there you go. So Antigua rumored. I mean, I've seen people saying it's a done deal.
I never use the words done deal because that was done one time famously, and that didn't age well.
So, Antigua and Chan Coleman, Rodney Chan Coleman, or is it Rodney?
You said it and it sounded right, but it didn't sound right at the same time.
Yeah, no, that's why I questioned it. I was like, is it Rodney Chan Coleman?
Oh man, now I gotta
and we'll just say
I gotta do a lot of research, and I shouldn't because man, my back hurts. I don't want to do research today.
It's Chan Coleman and Kojo and T. But Twitter and social media said, it's in. There was some Illinois people that said, yeah, he accepted the offer from Kentucky. Kentucky hasn't made it official. So,
well, they tend not, they didn't make Justice official.
Right.
We all knew he was gone. They didn't until actual contracts got signed, and whatever's between who and there and whatever. I was right. I knew he did, and I was going to say this. But you made me question myself, and I'm not sure why, because you're always wrong.
Wow.
Tony Barbee was head coach at Auburn.
Yeah, I don't remember that at all.
I'm going to give you the year here in a second.
It doesn't matter because I don't remember that at all.
In 2010 was when he was named the head coach at Auburn, and let's see, then he left in 14.
Yeah,
he had never had a winning season there, so maybe that's why you don't remember. But I knew. It
seems like after you said that, it seems like now I kind of remember that.
No, you told me you had you already said 3 times you had no memory. So
no, I mean. After you saying that, I feel like I sort of Ronald, Rodney, same thing.
Well, no, see, that's how come it sounded sort of right, but not right.
Right.
I'm glad I got the research out of the way.
Yeah, research
I go
always.
By Chan too. Ronald, I can't help it. If I hear the name Ronald, I'm going to think red nose, orange hair, yellow jumpsuit. McDonald.
Damn, did you just call him a clown?
No, I said I think of that when I hear the name Ronald. I didn't say him.
Right.
That's what the name Ronald does to me. So go by Chan, please.
Chan Coleman.
Now, if we want to talk about next man up, the next man up would be the next men up. A bunch of them, because Kentucky's getting pretty good at this NFL draft thing.
Yeah, they are.
And I'm really glad because the Cowboys are the beneficiaries.
Right. I know the Cowboy fans were happy. Well, Kentucky fans.
Well, why wouldn't you be? I mean, Kelvin Joseph and Quinton Bohanna.
Yeah.
Going 44th and 192nd, respectively, which I remember the days when we got excited if we had a player go in the 6th or 7th round.
Yeah. It wasn't that long ago.
We had a 19th overall pick. That's not. And 2 years ago, nobody, if you said Jamin Davis, I'm like, huh? What? Who?
Right. Jamin Davis is a Washington football team.
That to me, every time I read that, it cracked me up. I mean, that's I'm sorry, it's been long enough. You can come up with a name
Right.
for your team.
I was happy for the kid. Just like he worked and damn, 19th pick.
Yeah, well, and that's nothing. He sent a tweet out. I wish I had linked to it, but it was kind of like, all my brothers, like, look at this. There's no reason. You have no reason to think you can't do this because I was where you are right now. If you're willing to work, you can be where I am right now.
Right. Yeah. I was surprised with Kelvin Joseph. I thought he might go sooner than he did. I mean, still a great pick, but I thought that he was good enough to go better than what he went. So,
do you think anything about like sitting out a bowl game or
I thought about that
when he stopped and he, because he didn't play the last game of the regular season either, I don't believe.
Right.
And it was going to. What was the phrase? They see how quickly it goes away. They had a phrase that everybody used if they weren't going to play during the COVID season.
Opt out.
There we go. They would opt out.
Yeah.
You don't play 7 games of the season or 9 games of the season and then opt out.
Yeah.
Because we talked about on this podcast, that comes across as quitting on your team.
Yeah. It does, but there were guys that went early that opted out.
Well, but to me, that's a little more consistent. You're opting out for whatever those reasons are. I think he waited to see, well, crap, this season was a wash.
Yeah.
And then he opted out. That was weak sauce, in my opinion.
I agree.
I have a lot more respect. Like I said, if you had gone maybe, even after 3 games, kind of like, man, now that I'm seeing the reality of all these restrictions and protocols and this and that, and you're watching other teams have multiple players go down and thinking, I think I'll take my chances and see where I go in the draft. I think actually he would have gone higher had he taken that route as opposed to quit on his team after 9 games.
Yeah, could have. And, but there were players that opted out that did still get drafted early, but
a lot of those were ones that opted out like at the beginning of the season, though.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
See, at that point, it's not just the talent. You got to take attitude, team player.
Right.
I mean, there's a lot of components in that, and all it had to do was be in the mind of one team up here on the board that had that need, that chose somebody else because of that one little question mark. And like I said, you could have had like the next 10 teams that weren't going to pick him because that was not the position they were looking for.
Right.
But you take one higher up and you're going to tumble down the board a bit.
Right. The biggest question for me in the NFL draft for Kentucky wise was Drake Jackson. I was like, are you kidding me?
Like,
what?
Do you know, did you see the stat that got pulled out? And Corey Price was like regurgitating stats at, 40 miles an hour last night. But I don't know that this was one that he put out. I think this was someone else.
Was it all the years he played starting and gave up 1 sack?
Playing against the biggest, baddest, strongest defensive lines in college football.
Yeah.
And gave up 1 sack.
Yeah. I mean, one could say he was.
You can count them on the fingers. You can count. You can count the number of sacks he gave up on one.
One.
The number of fingers on one finger.
Right.
Instead of the number of fingers on one hand. No, the number of fingers on one
finger.
On
one hand and not use all your fingers.
Well, no, I just like the number of fingers on one finger.
Right. But yeah, I was like,
well, the Lions were not idiots. They came back and said, what?
Yeah.
We'll sign him.
Yeah.
And I had hopes for AJ Rose because I thought he had, and maybe part of what hurt him was always running with Benny or C-Rod It's kind of hard to, when you've got other running backs that are putting up like ridiculous numbers, and no matter how good you are, you're going to look less.
Right.
But the Vikings said, that's okay. We like him.
Yeah. Don't like the Vikings.
Well, no. And I'm not the greatest fan of the Lions, but I'm glad both of them took chance. And I really despise the Steelers. I'm sure you don't like the Steelers.
No.
And yet that's where Boogie went.
Yeah.
And I'm so thrilled. And we didn't even mention Brandin Echols, who got up with the Jets. He went number 200 overall.
Yeah. Happy for him.
Landon Young went number 206. Now, how about that? Country as cornbread. And he's going to be down in New Orleans.
Right.
So that's actually a good fit for him.
Right. One thing that I enjoyed too was the former players that are already playing the NFL just congratulating these guys. And just wow, man. Just it's just a lot of love.
Well, and recognizing, because those
technical difficulties.